A man who was plotting revenge, Raymond Poincaré. How the French president spent 44 years preparing for war with Germany. I am Peter, and I will show you the most patient killer in history. Raymond Poincaré. A seemingly calm lawyer, in reality a man who had been methodically preparing revenge on Germany for 44 years. And unlike Kaiser Wilhelm, he was not a fool. He was cold as ice and dangerous as a poisonous snake. In 1870, 10-year-old Raymond Poincaré watches as German troops march through his hometown of Bar-le-Duc. He sees humiliation, weeping, French flags being torn down from buildings. At that moment, the boy swears to himself, one day we'll get them back. And unlike the other children, he never forgets. His whole life, for 44 years, he would work toward a single goal, war with Germany and the return of Alsace-Lorraine. Here's the horrifying thing. He wasn't an impulsive man with a complex like Wilhelm. He was a cold-blooded strategist who subordinated every decision to a single goal, revenge. Poincaré becomes a lawyer, then a politician. Every step he takes leads to one thing, war with Germany. In 1912, he becomes prime minister. The first thing he does is extend military service from 2 to 3 years. The French army grows by 300,000 men. Why? The deputies ask. Poincaré calmly replies, for the defense of the homeland. But everyone knows the truth. He is preparing an attack. In 1913, he becomes president. Now he has power over all of French foreign policy, and he uses it as a weapon against Germany. The Russian card? Poincaré knows that France alone cannot defeat Germany. That's why he relies on Russia, but not as a diplomat, as a manipulator. French banks lend Russia billions of francs, officially for development. In reality, for railways toward the German border and for armaments. Every kilometer of track shortens Russian mobilization. In 1914, Russia mobilizes in 18 days instead of 40. That is Poincaré's doing. But here's the diabolical thing. The Russians don't know they're being manipulated. They think the French are just generous friends. Poincaré sees that the Balkans are a smoldering powder keg and decides to light it. In 1912, he secretly supports the Balkan League against Turkey. French money finances Serbian, Bulgarian, and Greek weapons. Why? Because he knows that a strong Serbia will provoke Austria, and a conflict between Austria and Serbia will draw in Russia, and that will draw in France. Do you see the strategy here? Poincaré doesn't plan to attack Germany directly. He plans to create a situation where Germany will be forced to attack first. Then France will be the innocent defender. The July crisis. The master enters the stage. July 1914. The assassination in Sarajevo. A shock for all of Europe, an opportunity for Poincaré. In July, he travels to St. Petersburg for a friendly visit with the Tsar. In reality, he goes to convince Russia not to back down to Austria. Russia must support Serbia, he tells Nicholas II. France will stand by you under any circumstances. That is, in effect, a guarantee of war. Poincaré is essentially saying, start the war. We will help you. The Tsar hesitates, but French money has been flowing into the Russian treasury for years. Nicholas agrees. In August 1914, Germany declares war on France. Poincaré has achieved his goal. But here is the irony. He appears to be an innocent victim. Germany has attacked us, cries the French press. We must defend ourselves. In reality, Poincaré orchestrated the entire crisis like a puppeteer. He manipulated the Russians, provoked Austria through Serbia, and forced Germany to make the first move. The most ingenious part is that, in the eyes of the world, he remained untarnished. A peace-loving president forced to defend his homeland. Poincaré got what he wanted. Alsace-Lorraine is French, but at what cost? 1.4 million French dead. An entire generation of young men wiped out. Northern France in ruins. The economy on the verge of collapse. Was that revenge for 1871 worth 1.4 million lives? Poincaré thinks it was. Until the end of his life, he insisted, I saved the honor of France, but I saw those graves. Rows of white crosses stretching to the horizon. That is the real price of his success. William II and Poincaré both prepared for World War, but in how different ways. Wilhelm was loud, arrogant, impulsive. Everyone saw that he was dangerous. Poincaré was quiet, polite, cold. No one realized he was even more dangerous. Wilhelm wanted to be admired and became famous. Poincaré wanted revenge and achieved it. Who was worse? The madman who didn't know what he was doing, Or the cold-blooded strategist who knew exactly what he was doing and did it? Next time I'll tell you about the third man who helped set Europe on fire, the Russian foreign minister Izvolsky, a man whose career was broken by an Austrian ruse and who decided to take revenge on the whole world.
If you like the videos and the whole series, please give a like and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. And if you have any thoughts on the topic, share them in the comments. Soldier Petr.